the one, the only, Ben Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Table Enabled as we continue Shulchan Aruch Yom. We finish another week. First week of Hilchos Shabbos, Siman Reish Mem Hey 245. Talks about Yisrael ve'eni Yehudi shutf v'neichis nahagu b'Shabbos. It's very common halacha for business owners. You have a partnership, let's say, with a non-Jew. You own a gym. My cousin owns a gym. You own a restaurant. Maybe you have whatever type of business you own. You have a factory or whatever business you own, and you run it 7 days a week. And the non-Jewish party has no problem working on Shabbos, but you have a problem earning money on Shabbos. What do you do in such a case? In the previous one we talked about when you were the sole proprietor of the business, but now you have a partnership. They have something which we mentioned as before, mechubar lakarka, something which is attached to the ground, which is more severe than metaltalin. We'll explain. We'll go over and Ian to lean on all these different round up and give a summary of all the different halachas, how it relates to shlichus ve'ena Yehudi and things like that. I wasn't 100% clear in the first two Ian to lean on, Reish Mem Gimel Reish Dalet. I'm going to summarize it and make it very clear. So, O Shehem Shutvim B'Chanos B'Schora, our fifth case, they have a store. A store is generally attached to the ground, at least not it's e-commerce, it's a brick and mortar store. When they join the partnership, they write down the contract, the details. How are we going to split up the profits? So they say, whatever profits we earn on Saturday goes to you, the non-Jew. Right? And let's say we're closed on Sunday, so there's 6 days. So Saturday we're working. So I get 3 days, 3 of my days, and you get 3 of your days, and one of your days is Shabbos. Mutter, that's clear because you're not earning any profits from it, so there's no problem. Vim lo is doing, and in terms of the problem Marasayan, it's not Marasayan because people know that it's a joint ownership between you and a non-Jew. Vim lo hisnu betchila. Let's say they didn't make this stipulation when they started their business. So what you have to do is the even though technically let's say you're open 7 days a week, or even you're open 6 days a week, you didn't make a stipulation. So the non-Jew gets all the profits from Shabbos. The other 5 days or the other 6 days, you divide them evenly, so he gets more than the non-Jew. If it wasn't known, let's say you make an accounting once a week, you don't know how much exactly you earn on Shabbos. So you estimate, you take 1/7, can I get 1 day? And that goes first to the Yehudi. It's like a Bechor, he gets the whole portion, he gets that extra portion. And the rest you split evenly. Some allow you, if you didn't make the stipulation, to take money from the Shabbos, or if it's included. Even if they didn't stipulate, and they just divided up the money they made through the whole week, you can split it exactly evenly. This is important. The Ramah says there's a difference between hefsed gadol, if it's a large amount of money. Now, I don't know exactly what qualifies a large amount of money. I would say if it's in the thousands of dollars, I think $1,000 is considered a large amount of money. Then you can rely on that opinion. This is only talking about a partnership where each one, they come in 1 day a week, and one guy runs it 1 day, one guy runs it the other day. 6 days a week, they work together. They're both in the store. The 7th day, the non-Jew is the only one there. But he's working of his own volition, right? He doesn't have to work. It's not fair, right? You're both working 6 days. He's working a 7-day week. He's not benefiting from the work on Shabbos. It's like if a non-Jew does something, he decides to, put some money in the stock market for you and give you a present. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that. He did it for himself, and then he's giving it to you after. It's like a present. If you want to take, in this case, according to this Gesh Omrim, that you can take the money, you have to make sure that you take it behavla, you take it along with other money you earn during the week, because there's a problem of schar Shabbos, which is an Isser D'Rabbanan, to be paid from money that was earned solely on Shabbos. If they did make a stipulation originally, mutter. right? Even if they made a stipulation that you work on Saturday, I work. We have 6-day work week. I work on Saturday. He works Saturday, Friday, and Thursday. I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then he wants to divide up the Shabbos money evenly. Mutter. He's allowed to. He could do that. Because again, this is like a matana. He's doing it himself. You didn't ask him to do this. That's all the problem. All these problems are a problem of shlichus. Shlichus, in some cases, they're abundant. In some cases, they're rice. I'll elaborate more on that in Ian to lean on. Give a good summary about that. Gimel, heicha shelo histu b'tchila. If they didn't stipulate originally, yesh tikun al yidei shiyatzir hamocher lehem dmei hakarka. Let's say they bought a field together, and they didn't make a stipulation. Now they want to make a stipulation because a lot more opinions are makel when you make a stipulation. So they should sell the land back to whoever they bought it for. Or yimkaru lishach, or sell it to somebody else. If you can do like a little trickery, like you do for mechiras chametz. Yeah, I'm selling all my chametz, and I'm going to buy back after. Don't take anything. Don't take all those fancy whiskey, my Johnny Walker Blue Label. Don't touch that. And then buy it together as a shutfus, and v'yisnu, and make the stipulation v'shas akniya. Let's say they bought a store together, they started a business together, and they didn't make a stipulation. Divide up the store. We bought it with $10,000. All right, let's divide up the store again. Right? Basically, I get half, so you get half the store. Right? It's sort of a trickery, sort of harama. Right? And nullify the shufas. You each are sole proprietors. And then go back. You didn't know you're going to go back together and join together in your partnership and make a tanai. Make a stipulation. Again, if they were given land to work on as partners, not that they own the land, they're just working together as partners, so they should stop the partnership and forgive whatever, they had. Let's say one person earned more money than the other person, whatever. Your mochel, whatever you took. And then now we're joining together. It's sort of like harama. You see harama is clearly mutter. Hagav im yirtze lahaskir le'ena Yehudi chalko b'Shabbos or l'sachra b'kibolis. Let's say you have a field. You want to rent it to a Yehudi on Shabbos, or that he takes kablanas, right? He gets paid for, not by hourly wage, but he gets paid for the job. Shari, the commotion is barley al sof simon reish from dalin and mechas matbea the shari, the kosher kane kan the shari im shutvos hayina Yehudi. Again, here you're working the field. You don't own the field, right? If it's mechuber lekarko, that's more severe. That's machlokas Rabbeinu Tam and other Rishonim. We happen to make it like Rabbeinu Tam, but metatlin, like the cases where you bought the right to collect taxes, or you bought the coin that comes out of the mint of the National Treasury. These are metaltalin. When it comes to metaltalin, we're much more makel over there. And the same thing over here, we're talking about the schar that comes out of working the field. It's not actually ownership of the field. So therefore, like we said, when it's a hesed gadol, when it's, a lot of money involved, then you could be makel. Dal yochol Yisrael litain le'Yehudi, mostly sasik b'hem. You could hire a financial advisor, not Jewish, and he does. He makes trades on Friday afternoon here in Israel after the market's still open in America, or during Yantiv he's making moves. Or he's dealing with your cryptocurrency trades. Which is open 7 days a week. People don't know. You can divide everything equally, right? Right? It's his job. He's a financial advisor. He didn't tell him, earn me a certain money by Shabbos. He just told him, deal with my finances, make a nice return for me. And more importantly, there's no marasayan, because everyone knows you give a financial advisor. No one knows that your money's by the financial advisor. Again, if right? Let's say you're dealing with your money. You have your own hedge fund. You're dealing with money, your own money, and you do a partnership with a non-Jew, and you split it up, right? Some days I'm going to be investing, some days you're going to be investing. You can't take money for that Shabbos. Again, when you're benefiting along with the non-Jew from his work on Shabbos, right? If you made the Tanai, I believe it's mutter. Here we're talking about you didn't make the Tanai, it was stam, and that's why it's a problem. Hey, mutter Yisrael litin schor le'Yehudi limkor and katzos lo schar. Let's say you have merchandise to sell. You give it to Yehudi to sell, and when you get profits, you split the profits, sell it whenever you want. You can't instruct him sell on Shabbos. That's shlichus. That's amir la'akum. Let's say you lent money to a non-Jew and you took his oven, or at least you took the profits from his oven, his industrial oven, as a collateral. Ma'osa. I guess he left the industrial oven by the non-Jew, and the non-Jews are earning profits on Shabbos to pay him back. So you can take that. He doesn't own that. It was his all along. A mashkon is not necessarily kona. It's machlokes the Gemara. A mashkon is kona or not. Maybe you're kona in certain regards, but not fully. Again, you're not instructing him specifically to do on a Shabbos. Again, there's no marasayin because it's his oven, and you're not benefiting from him. You're not telling him to work it on Shabbos, so therefore he's doing it on his own accord. Vav. However, if the oven belonged to Yisrael, which is mechuber l'karka, b'Shabbos al korcho, he did it against Yisrael. V'nasan lo pas b'schar tanur. You have to pay for it. They basically said, "All right, we used your oven. We'll give you some of the bread as payment." Asar lahanos amenu. This is clear in the Shulchan Aruch. No one argues on this. You can't benefit from the bread. Why? Because of marasayin, right? Obviously, he did it. He forced you to do it. You didn't let him do it. But again, it's something which everyone knows it's your ton, or people are going to see that someone's baking on Shabbos. So it's a problem with marasayin. Mechuber marasayin is completely usher, unless there's other qualifications. We'll talk about that. Ian to lean on coming up next. We're going to basically categorize everything. There's metaltalin, mechuber, and there's something called schar, which I didn't elaborate on, which is the money that you earned from the metaltalin and the mechuber, and we'll relate to how it relates to amir al-akum and shlichus by a non-Jew. Again, I mentioned in previous year there's two different types of shlichus. There's shlichus that a non-Jew cannot take part in. There's an ain shlichus la'akum, but there is a shlichus that is la'akum, and one's be the right, so one's be the rabbanan on Shabbos. We'll talk about that. Ian to lean on coming up next.